So if you're anything like me and you're creating TikTok shop or TikTok affiliate videos, you've probably wondered, do hashtags actually help me get more views and more sales? And with TikTok's limit now capped at 5 hashtags per post, using them wisely is more important than ever, right? So let's break down the truth about hashtags in this video, how much they matter, and how to actually use them strategically. So the short answer is yes, in my opinion, but not in the way that most people think. So on Instagram, hashtags, once played a role in discovery. On TikTok, the algorithm is far more driven by watch time, more driven by retention and engagement than hashtags alone. Still, they do play a valuable supporting role in 3 main ways, right? So first and foremost, it's going to give the algorithm context. So it's going to help TikTok understand what your video is about so it can test it with the right audiences. For example, tagging like TikTok made me buy it or something like that, in my opinion, doesn't really help you. Or like Amazon finds, again, in my opinion, doesn't really help you, but tagging it with something super niche might actually make a difference to kind of suggest to the algorithm that this is the type of audience, the target buyer, the target avatar that you're going after, that this content should be served for, right? Now, full disclosure, before we jump into this video and we talk a little bit more, because I have another point on this, I have had videos that have gone viral and done well and gotten a bunch of sales with hashtags, and I've had them go viral and gotten a ton of sales without hashtags, without even a caption, right? So I want to preface that by saying I don't think that they always matter, but when you're a smaller creator, when you're an affiliate, when you're a TikTok shop seller, either or, and you don't have a ton of success, you want to use every potential advantage that you can get. And so that's why I want to cover this, because it can help you, give you a little boost, in my opinion, all right? So again, niche targeting, so using hashtags like baby must-haves or kitchen finds, whatever the case is, it's going to ensure that your video is going to surface in front of the right people that are already interacting with similar content, all right? Also, it's going to give you search visibility. This is definitely true. So TikTok is pushing its search function a lot more and more. And when users search terms like Amazon gadgets or, kitchen, whatever the case is, right? Your relevant hashtags combined with the keywords in your captions and your voiceover in your video in the whole thing as a whole, and what TikTok categorizes your video as, can help your video show up higher in search results. So that is definitely true. Again, you might not use it depending on the hashtags and whether or not they're indexed properly. It might get shown to the right audience initially, but if people are searching for it, that definitely will help. I promise you that, all right? Now, since TikTok allows you to add 5 hashtags per video, the key is to make every slot count, right? So you want to make sure that you want to utilize, again, all 5, in my opinion. But that said, you also don't want to make sure, you want to make sure that they're not irrelevant hashtags, right? Don't use 5 for the sake of using 5. Make sure that they're 5 that are all the same niche that you're going after, and that will help you, right? If you have 3 that are the same niche, but 2 that confuse it, you're kind of defeating the purpose of it. And in my opinion, there's no point, right? You're just going to confuse the algorithm if it's even going to help you in the first place, all right? Also, a lot of people wonder, do they help drive more sales? So no, not directly. They don't guarantee higher views or higher sales, but what they do is they help get your content in front of the right audience faster, which can increase conversions when paired obviously with strong content. If you have the best hashtags in the world, but you don't have a good product or you don't have, good content, it's not going to matter at all. Are you still guessing which products to actually sell? If you want your dropshipping sales to actually take off, you should be using Zeek Analytics. Now, I've used it to find top performing products for things like TikTok affiliates, Shopify, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, even Poshmark from time to time as well. And Zeek doesn't just show you what's trending, it breaks it all down for you. You'll see what your competitors are selling, what's blowing up right now, and even what untapped products are about to pop before they do. Their trending product alerts and their hot products calendar give you an instant read on what's working today in real time. Plus, you can filter products by demand, competition, price point, and a ton more. So that way you're not guessing, you're finding real winners in real time. And with things like the sales tracker and the store finder, you can see exactly what top sellers are doing and how much revenue they're pulling in per product specifically. It's basically your shortcut to smarter product research on a number of different marketplaces. And the best part is you can start today for just $1. That's all it takes to unlock the data and find out what your next winning product will be very quickly. So hit the link below in the description if you want to start out with your Zeek Analytics trial and stop guessing. So the real drivers of affiliate sales are obviously a hook that grabs attention in the first 3 to 5 seconds. And you can obviously use a viral one, mimic one that's, very similar, or create your own. If there's also other ways to do hooks as well. Like, don't just think of a hook as just text or what you're saying. You can also like just hop into the camera or do a transition in the beginning. Whatever the case is, get creative with your hooks. Study other creators that are doing it successfully. Figure out how they're hopping into their first 2 to 3 seconds, right? So like, if I wasn't on camera and I popped in like this, obviously you can't hear me with the mic, but if I popped in like that, that could be an example of a hook, right? That's a bad example, but just to get you thinking outside the box, all right? Another thing that you want to do is a clear demonstration of the problem-solving benefit of that product, right? Does it save money? Does it save time? Does it help the customer in some form or fashion? Does it improve their life? How so, right? You don't have to always tell them. You can, that helps, but sometimes it's better to even show them, all right? And obviously, a simple, direct call to action at the end of the video is going to make a big difference, all right? So if your content's nailing those, then hashtags are going to act as kind of the guidepost that's going to point TikTok's algorithm in the right direction, and then buyers will convert on that video if it's good, right? But again, if your content sucks, if your product sucks, nobody wants it, the best hashtags in the world aren't going to matter, okay? So the final takeaway that you should have is that hashtags aren't magic, right? They're not some magic pill, some magic button for TikTok success. They're far from useless, contrary to what people would say, right? Again, I did say in the beginning, I've had videos do well with both hashtags and not hashtags. It's not really going to matter a ton in the beginning, but when you're a smaller creator, I think you should use every added advantage that you can get. And if it's going to definitely increase your search visibility, which if you ask Grok, if you ask ChatGPT, if you ask Copilot, they will all tell you that. If you Google it, they will tell you that, right? Anecdotally, I feel like it definitely works, and TikTok themselves have said that they're pushing search a lot more, and hashtags obviously play a role in that, right? So that alone is a reason that you should do it. And then again, added goalposts, like I said, if it's going to even potentially help you 1% in showing you to the right audience for that video, then I would say do it, because what does it actually take? 10, 20 extra seconds per video? There's a lot of potential benefit and literally no downside risk. So they're going to help guide the algorithm, they're going to improve search visibility, and they'll connect your videos to the right audiences. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer, and you should definitely try it. Again, the best strategy is to use all 5, because that's the amount that you're able to do now. They put a limit on it with 5. And again, if another kind of caveat and way to think about it is if they didn't matter, why would they limit the hashtags, right? So they obviously matter a little bit. Again, they're not the magic pill. They're not the be-all, end-all. But if they can help you even 1%, even 5%, I would definitely recommend to do it, okay? So remember, it's kind of like there's signs on the road, and your content's going to determine how far your video actually goes. But again, you should do both. And just because they limit you to 5 and you can do 5 doesn't mean that you should abuse 5. Make sure they're relevant. Make sure that they're obviously pointing the direction to your niche or your target buyer, right? But if you're still stuck and you're looking for ways to obviously find hot products, make good videos, the entire process of actually going through and what you should do on TikTok affiliate, then I put all of this into an easy to follow system that you can watch and learn today and get started immediately and make good money relatively fast, all right? And that is always linked in the description below. As always, guys, I hope this helps.